But what was nice was I was able to grab a few pieces out of my closet and get dressed in under 10 minutes. And at the end of the day, the waitress gave us both compliments on how well put together we looked. This is my goal for all of you. To me, a good closet comes from knowing who you are and having a clear idea of who you want to be and what works well for you. Hello world, Prince here, and welcome to my channel, Gentlemen and Scholars, where we discuss life, style, personal development, and so much more. All right, so for today's topic, we're going to be going over 7 style secrets only the most stylish men know. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so the first style tip that I have for you guys today is to take the excessive fabric that you may have hanging off the sides of your shirts and move that to the back. This will work for all shirts. That's dress shirts, casual shirts, work shirts, etc. This technique is very simple. You simply move the excess fabric that you may have hanging off the side of your shirt and simply move it to the back and tuck it in your pants. This will give all of your shirts a more tailored and expensive look without having to break the bank. Now, this of course will not take the place of a good tailor, but in a lot of cases, it does serve as a great second. Now, if you have a shirt that's 3 sizes too big, don't expect this technique to work a miracle. In that case, you'll just have a bunch of excess fabric hanging off the back and you'll look tacky and a bit weird, so don't be that guy. Pro tip, try this tip and then give a slight tug from the back so that your shirt sits up on your chest and doesn't slouch. Then tuck the excess fabric from the back and you're good to go. This definitely will make a noticeable difference and surely increase your style. So for tip number 2, consider going beltless with dress shirts. So a good rule of thumb is to not wear belts with dress shirts or suits. I know there are a few cases where this is pulled off, but honestly, they are far and few. The belt in this case just accentuates all the wrong areas on a man's body. So it's much more advantageous to get your pants tailored so that there's no need for a belt. Plus, going beltless is a much more modern and cohesive silhouette. I'm telling you, making small changes like this will make a huge difference with the ladies. And don't just take my word for it. Integrate these principles into your life and see the impact that it has on you. So for style tip number 3, that is to develop a color palette that works for you. So the goal with this video is for you to develop your own personal style. So that means you shouldn't be dressing like me or your favorite celebrity. You should have your own style that's personal to you and an extension of your personality. Of course, it's totally fine to get inspiration from others, just don't get lost in that. In other words, don't go overboard. Additionally, from a practical perspective, you don't want to take forever getting dressed. The goal for me is to collect quality, timeless pieces that allow me to quickly go in my closet, pick some items, and know that they'll go well together. Just to give an example, common palettes that I wear include black, white, creams, olives, dark blues, and grays. To emphasize even further, yesterday I had a date planned and I lost track of time. So in other words, I was running late. But what was nice was I was able to grab a few pieces out of my closet and get dressed in under 10 minutes. And at the end of the date, the waitress gave us both compliments on how well put together we looked. This is my goal for all of you. To me, a good closet comes from knowing who you are and having a clear idea of who you want to be and what works well for you. All right, so for style tip number 4, if your hair is not on point, you've gotta wear a hat, man. At the end of the day, it's inevitable. We're all gonna have bad hair days. Maybe you get so lost in pursuing your purpose that you forget to visit the barber. Or maybe your barber's out of town, so you're not able to make an appointment. This is totally okay and is to be expected. But instead of being a victim to circumstance, we should instead plan for these things. Have some quality go-to hats that work well for any occasion. And if you're not an avid hat wearer, it really doesn't have to be that many. 3 should do well. Try to go for neutral colors so that they work well for many situations. My go-tos are my plain black trucker hat, as well as my suede dad cap. I'll leave links below for both. To circumvent this, you should also consider getting on a schedule with your barber. So maybe get in a routine, so every other Saturday, you're already on the books for a cut. This will circumvent any issues and keep you looking clean all year long. All right, so for style tip number 5, try wearing accessories. This really is the difference that makes the difference. This is often the difference that accentuates your own personal style. In other words, this may be the piece that sets you apart from others who dress similarly to you. And if you're trying to appeal to the ladies, just setting yourself apart is half the battle. Ever heard a guy say, "I'm not like those other guys"? In the pickup community, they call this peacocking. To me, I just consider this not following the crowd. Anyway, some accessories I often play around with are watches, rings, and scarves. Just play around with it and find out what works best for you. It is said that only 55% of men wear cologne. So just doing this will immediately set you apart from others. If you are new to cologne, a lot of places that you probably already shop at sell inexpensive cologne. Places such as your Zara's, your H&M's, your Expresses. Believe it or not, places like Bath & Body Works has an excellent selection of affordable men's cologne. Then as you progress, you can advance to your Pradas, your Creeds, your YSLs. So definitely incorporate this into your daily habits and find a smell that works best for you. And for tip number 7, well, lastly, that's to wear confidence. I've said it once and I'm going to continue to say it. The most important thing that you can work on is your confidence and belief in yourself. None of the tips that I've shared matter if you don't have this point down. And I know it's easier said than done, but trust me, no matter where you've come from and where you are currently, you must have the confidence to know that you will make your situation better. Some things that really help me with this are being on your purpose. In other words, mobilizing on your long-term goals and taking action. That means if you see something you want, you go for it. Whether it turns out good or bad, at least you went for it, unlike the other 95% of people around you. There are also some great personal development books that I've used to help me with this as well. I'll link those down below. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. If you have any questions for me, definitely feel free to give a shout. Like, definitely subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That is extremely important. And definitely let me know down below if, there's some tips that you would have shared that I may have left out. Definitely let me know down in the comment section below. Until next time, gentlemen and scholars.